Good evening. Despite all the efforts made by Xi's anti-corruption campaign in recent years, it seems that China's anti-corruption system still cannot accept her neighbor countries like Singapore apart from economy. According to the statistics of 2016 Corruption Perception Index of Transparency International, Singapore ranked the 7th out of 176 countries, while China ranked the 70th. So why is it like that? Is there anything China can learn from other countries? So here we are going to have an interview with Wong Hong Kwan, the director of CPIB in Singapore.
CPIB is the only agency empowered to investigate any corruption offences in Singapore. And we are independent from all the other government agencies and is only answerable to the Prime Minister's office. By doing so, we can avoid others' disturbance, and we can also investigate any person or corporation in the government or even in the private sector. Indeed, one may regard us as highly efficient because we promise to answer any reports of cases within 1 week, and to start an investigation within 48 hours, and to finish it in 3 months. And we have 3 departments in total, namely investigation, operation, and corporate affairs.
While Singapore performed outstandingly in cracking down corruption, China is still struggling to do so. Although Chinese agencies enjoy more privilege to investigate cases, multiple organizations are in charge of anti-corruption in China, resulting in a disorganization and overlapping jurisdiction. Sometimes cases related to high leaders are even not investigated. Besides, Chinese agencies focus too much on investigation, and they seldom work on prevention and community education.
Although the CPIB is highly praised as an outstanding agency, without laws and regulations it can do nothing. One of the major ordinances that empowers the CPIB is the Prevention of Corruption Act.
It allows the agency to investigate the suspect and his families or agents, and to examine the financial and other records, to require the attendance of witnesses for interview, and to investigate any other sizable offense which is disclosed in the course of a corruption investigation.
So now we are going to have an interview with Ms. Kathy Tang, who is a barrister in Singapore and has many years of experience in dealing cases about corruption. So thank you, Ms. Tang. So how do you think about the legal system in Singapore?
We have an independent legal system so that the rule of law can be achieved. And the Legal Service Commission is established to supervise the judges. It is able to dismiss and exercise disciplinary control over officers in the legal service. To regulate the judges can help prevent any cases of corruption and to ensure the independence.
I see. So do you think the legal process in Singapore is transparent and open?
Yes, of course. All court proceedings are open. Decisions are documented and subject to public scrutiny. Some benchmarks will be provided as to the severity of offences and their corresponding sentences. I think it is particularly important as it sends a strong message to the corrupted and to would-be offenders to think twice before acting corruption.
Apart from imprisonment and fining, are there any kinds of punishment in Singapore?
The Prevention of Corruption Act provides for resources to civil suits for recovery of bad-raised money in addition to criminal prosecution. Administration action can also be taken to cancel the contract and to prohibit suppliers who were convicted of corruption offences from future government contracts for up to 5 years in cases involving government contracts.
Indeed, it is pivotal for China to develop judicial independence in a bid to address the problem of corruption in the region. By opening the adjudication process to the public, imposing financial penalty and cancelling the corrupt officials' contract, these may lead to heavier consequences of engaging in corruption for public officers, which may help deter them from participating in corrupt practices.
In Singapore, a person plead guilty of corruption might receive a fine of not more than 100,000 and an imprisonment for not more than 5 years. But if the case is related to the government, then the penalty would be 100,000 and an imprisonment for not more than 7 years. Of course, the government may also confiscate the benefit the offender gained from corruption, just like my case.
Prevention in Singapore's anti-corruption system has been outstanding, As for the public sector, the ministers and the head of government departments have established a wide diversity of administrative measures to help reduce the risk of public officers getting involved in cases of corruption and also any other misbehaviors.
Identifying and removing opportunity for corruption in government work procedures. Simplifying administrative procedures to provide an efficient and transparent civil service. Reviewing public officers' salary regularly to ensure that they are paid adequately. Reminding government contractors at a time when contracts are signed that bribing public officers administrating the contract may render the contract to be terminated. Another law, the Corruption, Drug Trafficking, and Other Serious Crimes Confiscation of Benefits Act, provides for the confiscation of benefits derived from and to combat corruption, drug dealing, and other serious crimes and for purposes connected therewith. It punishes the laundering of bribe money and allows the state to confiscate corrupt benefits. Strict rules and regulations have been formulated to govern the conduct of public officers. Actually, China can do quite a lot on prevention of corruption. Firstly, it can simplify and reorganize current anti-corruption system into a single agency in order to boost up effectiveness and efficiency. It can also input more efforts on corruption prevention, like to study how to simplify administration procedures. It can also educate the public to boost up the sense of anti-corruption in order to cope with the high tolerance among citizens nowadays. Lastly, it can also remove censorship on media to allow report of cases.
Focus too much on investigation, but seldom work on prevention. For efforts on education.
How about the legal system?
Singapore's independent legal service commission supervising the education. Compared to China's legal system, dominated by CCP, ruled by law, rule of law, transparent information, free discount corruption.